Keane, could you talk to us about the squad? It's exciting for Evan Ferguson, Will Smallbone. They've got their first senior call.
Yeah, Will has shown great character to come back from a cruciate ligament injury, which was, for a young player, that's a real blow to do a cruciate. And in his time at Southampton, he's making some appearances in the Premier League, and his performances for the under-21s have been quite good. And he's a creative passer, so he's gone and played with Stoke this season and has done reasonably well, and has shown the ability to change the tempo of the game with his passing. He understands he's a natural midfield player, and in the under-21 team he showed the ability to score good goals. So he's there on merit, I feel. Will, it's an opportunity for him. With Evan's very young. There's no doubt he hasn't played many games, but he's been really exceptional coming through the ranks all the way up at international level, and it's someone that we regard highly, and he obviously has different attributes to the strikers that we have. And I think what Will Keane is a little bit of a doubt, because he came off injured midweek. Even though we've named Will in the squad, he has to have a scan on an injury. So with that in mind, but Will in mind, and obviously with Adam Ida and Troy Parrott injured, it's an opportunity for Evan.
And I suppose a notable absentee is Shane Duffy.
Yeah, Shane. Speak regularly to Shane. Obviously, Shane is left out of the squad for personal reasons. Really, that's why he's not in the squad this time.
Okay, no problem. So it's nothing football-wise.
No, well, I think it's been well documented that he's not played any games, and he's in the prime of his career. So 30-year-old centre back in the prime of his career. So he, when he gets playing regular football, I think he'll excel again. We remember his performance against Portugal at home here, which was a real outstanding performance. So he just needs regular football, but that's not the reason actually on this one, because we've been in the squad. This is one for personal reasons.
And Jeff Hendrick, he's one of Ireland's most experienced midfielders. People sometimes ask why he gets called up. What would you say to people when they ask that question about Jeff?
I think Jeff's level of professionalism is incredibly high. The way he plays every minute of every game for Reading. He plays every minute of every game. He's just supreme. He's a supreme athlete. He's supremely fit. Looks after his body incredibly well. He's very aware. He's he's a tremendous professional, and he performs different roles. I suppose he's, what type of midfielder is he? He was seen very much as a box-to-box type player for a while, and then when he played in the midfield too for us, he showed a level of creative passing, and then obviously had periods where he wasn't getting in at Newcastle, and it was difficult for him. And Jeff is someone that comes under the radar. He comes in for criticism very easily, but everyone in the squad thinks highly of Jeff, and he's a very good teammate to everyone in the squad.
Paul Hurd, please.
Stephen, can I just ask about the Derby lads, Jason Knight and Connor? Is there an issue about being released?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, they have a FA Cup match this week and a league match against Portsmouth. So they haven't released the players for this game. Jason's been injured anyway. He just he's been injured, but he come on last night. But that's the reason they're not there.
And is it just the case that it's not a fully sort of sanctioned?
Yeah, I mean, I've no idea why it isn't a fully sanctioned window that we can demand everyone, particularly when they've got matches, competitive matches, league matches. But from our point of view, playing for your country is the most important thing. It's the pinnacle of your career. It's above everything, and so we ideally want everybody here, but that's there's nothing we can do.
Could I just ask one more just about Haaland? there's a slight injury doubts over him, but he's in their squad. What do you make of Haaland in terms of how he's almost transformed the art of scoring goals? What do you make of him?
Yeah, no,
What
he.
sort of test is he for your defence?
No, he is a phenomenon. There's no doubt. He's a very, very exciting player. He's electric speed and just incredible capacity to score goals and physical strength. And obviously his goal ratio at Dortmund and Norway was really, really high. And he's followed on that with Man City, of course, which is not a surprise considering the level of player around him as well. But they've other good players like Odegaard, of course, is a terrific player as well. So Norway have some really good players. From our point of view, it's good preparation for France in March, I feel. That's a very important game for us in March, against France, and we've got to make sure we're absolutely ready then. And this game is good preparation for that, I feel.
Kevin Keeley.
Hi Stephen. Were Jason and Connor a bit annoyed at not being allowed to be released every day?
I think that they value playing for their country first and foremost. But I think they're obviously 10 years between them, but they both value equally playing for their country. And especially Connor, who sort of came through League 2 to League 1 to Championship to the Premier League, came right up and earned it the hard way. Jason obviously has been one of our better players. Like, he's performed consistently, and but that's the way it is.
Do you feel that Evan is ready to play?
We see. I know it's an early promotion for Evan, and I suppose the way I've got to look at it is that if Evan goes on loan, which is quite possible now in January, between March and June, which is a key area for us, we don't know how he'll do. We can't predict for certain. But if he went and done well and got regular game time at a club and scored goals, he could easily come into the picture in March or June and for the campaign. It can change that quickly.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's first loan aren't always a success, so we can't count on that. But he scores different types of goals. Obviously scores great headed goals, which is rare enough now. We're not producing that type of player. So he scores different types of goals, natural goal scorer, and it'll be interesting. It'll be a good experience for him in the squad.
Did you coach his dad, or am my timeline wrong?
My God, I might feel old there. No, I didn't. I didn't have the pleasure of that. No, I didn't have the pleasure of that. Maybe coached against his dad, for sure, and but not his dad. No.
Stephen, you spoke to us at the Euros draw about Joe Hodge. I know you said he could be a player maybe for the under 21 team in the short term, but have his Premier League appearances, I don't know, made you think a little bit differently about that, or do you still in that mindset?
No, listen, Joe's a terrific talent, and seeing him with Tom Owens under 19 team when he was 2 years out of his age group in Armenia. Again, he's someone who, when he went on loan to Derry, got injured and came back. So he's shown, obviously, Scott Sellers had him at Man City and took him to Wolves when he went to Wolves, and he regards Joe very highly as well. And obviously, he's made some recent cameo performances. So we'll continue to monitor him, and I think he will be an important player for the under-21 campaign next year. I do feel that as a holding player in that position, obviously we've other players who are competing for that position as well, like Conor Coventry as well, and Jack Taylor. So other players as well come into the picture.
Can I just clarify as well, you gave Neil Ferrugia sort of a good mention last month. Am I right in saying he's on standby? Is he in your long list?
Yeah, Neil is definitely on standby, and as is Rory Gaffney as well, Brian Maher. Yeah.
Finally from Ed.
Stephen, how are you doing? You referenced Will Smallbone, and you said he's done quite well for the under-21s. He's somebody quite well for Stoke. Evan, obviously, we're all excited about Evan, but he hasn't played, he hasn't been.
Yeah.
Does that suggest a lack of depth in the squad at the moment? And obviously, I was following up with the League of Ireland option. Was there other players who are sort of knocking about even goal scorers, Aidan Keane and those type of players? Were they in consideration?
the first question, yeah, it is premature for Evan. Like, you know, I think he's a good prospect, and sometimes, as I spoke already, he could have the opportunity going on loan and doing well. He scored in the recent Carabao Cup match as well. Scored a grey-headed goal. Scored in the under-21 playoff a grey-headed goal. So he's a different type of player than what we have. We think that he has a good chance of being a good player. He's highly regarded at Brighton, and probably, I don't think we've an overall lack of strength and depth. It depends on the bar, you know, how high the bar is set. But I think obviously Adam Eade has been very unlucky with his knee injury, been operated on, and will come back strong. Troy Parrott will come back strong. Obviously Aaron Connolly has just not been able to get games in Italy at the moment. The players that are in the squad as well, Michael Obafemi's done really well, and obviously Scott Hogan's in good form for Birmingham at the moment. So it's we have put an extra forward in than we would normally put in with Evan coming in because it's a possible withdrawal. I'm preempting that possible withdrawal, you know.